Alright guys, happy Friday. What is going on YouTube? This is your boy Sam from Team Samurai X1 here, and today I'm coming at you guys with the Eldlich deck profile. Finally got all the cards to the deck. I'm very excited to showcase you guys this deck. It's super duper fun, and I believe it has one of the most potential when it comes to this brand new Secret Slayer set. Golden Lord is obviously one of the most sought after cards in the entire set, and I'm just very happy to have my copies to showcase you guys the deck profile. Give this video a huge thumbs up, smash that thumbs up button, break that thumbs up button for more awesome deck profiles. I have some crazy deck lists coming up for Master Rule 5. Master Rule 5 has just been released, man, and I'm so excited to showcase you guys all these cool decks for this brand new Master Rule. It's gonna be super duper awesome. And tonight at 6 p.m. EST, I'm doing live box breaks for Secret Slayer, so make sure you guys come on out. I have a limited amount of boxes left, so make sure you guys get your box breaks today. Hit the link in the description box below, and I'll see you guys tonight here on YouTube at 6 p.m. EST. Alright guys, don't waste any more of your time. Without further ado, let's get started with the brand new Eldlich Zombies deck profile. Let's do it. Alright guys, start off with the monster real quick. We're going to play, of course, 2 copies of the brand new Eldlich, the Golden Lord. This card right here is the heart and soul of the entire deck. This is what the deck is going to be focusing around when it comes to playing zombies in 2020. What this card does is absolutely incredible. It is a light, level 10 zombie effect monster with 2500 attack and 2800 defense, with the effects that reads that you can send this card and one spell or trap from your hand to the graveyard, then target one card on the field, send it to the graveyard. The wonderful thing about this card is that this effect sends the cards to the graveyard. It does not destroy, it sends. So let's say you're facing against Winda. Winda has the ability where it cannot be destroyed by card effects. This card doesn't destroy, this card sends. So you can easily ditch this card and a spell or trap card, send Winda to the graveyard. See ya. Its secondary effects reads that if this card is in your graveyard, you can send one spell or trap card you control to the grave, add this card to your hand, and then you can special one zombie monster from your hand. This includes himself. And if you do, until the end of your opponent's turn, it gains 1000 attack and defense. It cannot be destroyed by card effects. So if you special summon this card from your hand, so let's say this card is in your graveyard, you send a spell or trap card to the graveyard, you add this card to your hand, special summon itself to your field, it becomes 3500, and also at the same time until the end of your opponent's turn, this card cannot be destroyed by card effect. This card is really awesome, being able to send any problematic cards on the field to the graveyard. Also at the same time, reloading your spell traps in the grave is absolutely incredible. And not only can it special summon itself, but you can special summon any zombie monster that's in your hand, and you can use both of its effect in the exact same turn. You need to play 2 copies of this card in your deck. It's not necessary to play 3 copies of this card at all. 2 is definitely more than enough. One thing that I want to mention before I move forward on into the deck profile, I just want to say that this deck is very versatile. There are so many different variations that you guys can definitely try out. This is the deck that I enjoy playing the most, and it's the one that I've been playtesting with my friend Yassine the most often. So I love the way that this deck functions. My deck is going to be based around Eldlich zombies, not pure Eldlich. So you might see different cards in the deck, and I'll explain you guys all my card choices once I get to the deck profile. If you guys don't like my card choices, that is completely understandable. Make sure you guys using your own text and your own cards to support your own playstyle. Just use my deck list as a template to what you guys can play in your own deck, right? And that's what I'm here for. I'm trying to educate you guys on how the deck works and the functionality behind these types of decks throughout my deck profile. And I just love this deck, man. Playing this deck for months now, and it's really fun. This specific list that I'm playing. That's pretty much it to start off with the big boss monster himself. Double copies of Golden Lord for the Eldlich boss monster. Next, I'm playing double Doom King Balladrock. This card is absolutely insane. Works really well with Zombie World while it's on the field. Every standby phase, as long as you have a field spell, this card will come back to your side of the field. The constant recursion that this deck has with Eldlich, the Golden Lord, and also Doom King Balladrock is ridiculous. Also, at the same time, Balladrock is just a additional aggressive card. The way that this card is really aggressive is that it can recur itself back to your side of the field every single turn if you control a field spell. And also at the same time, whenever a zombie monster activates its effect once per chain, you can either negate that effect or banish one card on the field or in the graveyard. So this card is a built-in effect veiler and also a DD Crow while it's on the field. And while Zombie World's on the field, it makes this card super broken because any monster effects is going to be zombies, right? Because Zombie World's on the field. So Doom King Balladrock can just immediately negate that effect or banish your card in the graveyard or on the field. And you can use both of these effects, the negate effect and also the banish effect, but it has to be once per chain. So Doom King Balladrock is just ridiculous. I love this card so much, and it works really well with Eldlich, the Golden Lord. I see a lot of deck lists that don't play this card, which is completely understandable. There are so many different variations of this deck online, but I like this version of the deck where you're able to control the field with Golden Lord and also Doom King Balladrock. So double copies of Balladrock, this card is insane. In Zombie World, is just absolutely ridiculous. Next off, really standard triple Shuriken Solitaire. This is the the card that you want to play for this specific variation of the deck. Being able to toot out Unizombie directly from the deck is really essential. So alongside Shuriken Solitaire, you're going to play, of course, 3 copies of Unizombie. Unizombie is really awesome. Being able to get access to cards like Balladrock directly from your deck to the graveyard, Golden Lord directly from your deck to the graveyard, any of your zombies that you need to your graveyard is just incredible. So you want to see this card in your first opening hand as much as possible, and Solitaire helps get you there. So you're essentially playing 6 copies of Unizombies in the entire deck. So Solitaire and Unizombie is just really great. And some of the cards that Unizombie can send to the graveyard are cards like Necro Banshee. She's really awesome. Only 1 copy because you're playing 6 Unizombie. So if you ever need to see Zombie World, you can easily send her directly from the deck to the graveyard. And Zombie World is just really great because it's one of the best anti-mana cards to actually combat against today's meta. Get access to Zombie World. The 1 copy of Glow Bloom, this card right here, you can easily special summon directly from the deck using cards like Crystron, Hako Fibrax. Also at the same time, it adds your Doom King Balladrock directly from your deck to your hand, or it can also add Eldlich, the Golden Lord, as well. And if you have Zombie World on the field, Glow Bloom becomes really broken because you can special summon cards like Eldlich, the Golden Lord, or Doom King Balladrock directly from the deck whenever this card is sent to the graveyard, right? So Glow Bloom is just really nice to get access to your boss monster pretty quickly, and you can also easily send this card to the graveyard using cards like Unizombie. And last but not least, you play, of course, the 1 Mizuki. Just another extender for the deck, being able to revive back any zombie monster from your graveyard is just really amazing. This deck's resource game is incredible. In any grind situation, this deck will outgrind your opponent with the resources that you have, with cards like Balladrock, Unizombie, Zombie World, with cards like Eldlich, the Golden Lord. This deck is just really amazing. It's a medium range deck which can easily control the board and also at the same time out-resource your opponent really quickly. So this deck is just really amazing. Last but not least, to run off of your monsters, I'm playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This card is a zombie monster, which is amazing. And the funny thing is, if you have Balladrock on the field and your opponent were to Ash Blossom you, Ash Blossom is a zombie within itself. So you can trigger out Balladrock's ability to just banish a card on the field or in the graveyard, or even to negate that Ash Blossom effect, which is really good. So this card right here is a zombie. It's a tuner, helps get access to Crystron, Hako Fibrax, and it's obviously one of the most efficient generic hand traps that you can actually play to combat against today's metagame. So triple Ash Blossom negates Shadow Fusion, really important. Alright guys, go out to the spells. We're gonna play, of course, triple copies of Curse Hellend right here. This card is one of the best continuous spells for the entire deck. What this card does is that you cannot declare attacks except with zombie monsters. You have Zombie World on the field, all monsters on the field become zombies anyways, and your entire deck are zombies, so that doesn't even matter. You can only use each of the following effect of Curse Hellend once per turn. So you can pay 800 life points, add 1 Eldlich monster or Golden Land spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. So this card right here is Cleaford Scout. Pay 800, add an Eldlich monster, which is in this case Eldlich the Golden Lord, or you can add any Golden Land spell or trap card directly from your deck to your hand. Its second effect reads that if this card is sent from the spell or trap card zone to the graveyard, you can send 1 Eldlich monster or 1 Golden Land spell or trap card from your deck to the graveyard. Synergizes really well with cards like Eldlich the Golden Lord. Secondary effect by sending this card from the field to special summon this card to your side of the field. Once that happens, you easily get to Foolish Barrel any of your spell or trap cards or monster directly from your deck to the graveyard, which is absolutely insane. So Curse Hellend is just so good. One of the best cards in the deck, and it's just essentially Cleaford Scout, which is really nice. So triple copies of Curse Hellend. Next we're going to play, of course, triple copies of Black Awakening. So there are 2 Elixir spell cards in the deck, and this is the first one right here, Black Awakening. What this card does is that you can special 1 zombie monster from your hand or deck in defense position, but if you control no Eldlich monster, you can only special summon Eldlich monster with this effect. So easily you can special summon, of course, Eldlich the Golden Lord directly from your deck to your side of the field. On top of that, if you already control Eldlich the Golden Lord, you can special summon any other zombie monster directly from the deck, which is great. And the secondary effect means that you can banish this card from your graveyard to set 1 Golden Land spell or trap card directly from your deck. The only problem with this card is that you can only use 1 Elixir of Black Awakening effect per turn, and only once that turn. So kind of similar to Shadow Mist, you can only use 1 of Shadow Mist effects per turn, and it's the same thing with Black Awakening. You can either special summon directly from the deck or set a Golden Land spell or trap card directly from your deck to your side of the field. So triple copies of course, Black Awakening. Next, we're going to play, of course, 2 copies of White Destiny. This card special summons from the hand or the graveyard, which isn't as good as Black Awakening, and it has the exact same secondary effect as Black Awakening as well, being able to banish this card from your graveyard to set any of your Golden Land spell or trap cards to your side of the field, which is amazing. And similar to Black Awakening, you can only use one of its effect per turn and once that turn. So this card right here specials from the hand or graveyard, while Black Awakening can special from the hand or deck. That's why Black Awakening is just so much better in my personal opinion, because it gets access to the monster directly from the deck, which is really good. So that's pretty much it for the Elixir spells. Next off, I'm going to play, of course, Double Zombie World. This card right here wrecks the entire meta right now. It is so good. Destroys Salomon Greats. They can't go into Bailings. They can't Conductor. They can't Miss. They can't Conduct a Tyranno because all cards in the graveyards are zombies. They cannot Pill. In Pendulums, they can't use Celine. This card literally wrecks the entire meta. Also, at the same time, against Dragon Link can't even beat Zombie World. How are you going to go into LP while Zombie World on the field? Good luck. Have fun. Zombie World is ridiculous. One of the most underrated card in today's metagame, 100%. Also, at the same time, combining Zombie World with Balladrock is just absolutely ridiculous. So I believe it's one of the best anti-meta cards for this entire format. And that's why I love Zombie World so much, and that's why I love this specific version, because you can easily combine Eldlich, the Golden Lord, with cards like Balladrock and also Zombie World. So Zombie World is just really good. Like I mentioned earlier, this deck is a medium range deck that aims to generate resources and outgrind your opponent, and also stunning your opponent with cards like Balladrock and also with win condition cards like Zombie World. So this card is absolutely insane, and Banshee can get access to this card with ease. Next one I'll play, of course, Triple Pot Extravagance. This is what I wanted to mention earlier, how I said that there are so many different variations of this deck online. Like, you guys can play whatever cards you guys like, but this is just my take on the deck. Pot Extravagance is so good. You have an extra deck, but you are not reliant on going to your extra deck whatsoever. Pot Extravagance is just so good. Like, you don't need to rely on your extra deck to win, and it doesn't matter what you banish. You can easily win the game with Golden Lord and also Balladrock on the field. So Extravagance lets you start out with a 6 or 7 card hand, be able to just dig 2 cards deeper into your deck to draw the combo pieces you need is absolutely crucial. So Pot Extravagance is absolutely mandatory to play in the deck, in my opinion. If you guys want to play Extravagance, you can play cards like Magician Souls instead. Magician Souls works really well with Curse Eldlich. Curse Eldlich right here with Magician Souls, which I'm not playing in this specific version of the deck. These 2 card combination is just really good. So it's either or. You can play Magician Souls or Extravagance, but I don't think playing both in the deck makes sense because you can't use both, right? So Pot Extravagance I like way better for this specific variation of the deck. And last but not least, for the spells, I'm playing triple copies of Called by the Grave to ensure that my Unizombie effect always goes through. So Called by the Grave is just very nice. And if your opponent doesn't have a hand trap, this card right here is one of the best disruption cards during your opponent's turn to banish any of their problematic cards in the graveyard, especially their combo pieces, right? So, alright guys, before I get started with the traps, make sure you guys hit this awesome Fire Win playmat today in the link in the description box below. Also, at the same time, like I mentioned earlier, tonight is the live box break of Secret Slayer, so make sure you guys get your Secret Slayer's booster box today in the link in the description box below, 6 p.m. EST live here on YouTube. Boxes are almost sold out. First come, first serve. Make sure you guys get your boxes today. Link down below. Alright guys, off to our traps. We'll play, of course, triple copies of the brand new Elixir Scarlet Sanguine. This card right here is absolutely incredible. The traps and spell cards are very unique in this deck. What this card does is that you can special one zombie monster from your deck or graveyard, but if you control no Eldlich monster, you can only special summon Eldlich monster with this effect. So if you don't control Golden Lord, special summon Golden Lord directly from the deck or graveyard. You know, and also at the same time, the secondary effect works the exact same as White Destiny and also Black Awakening, where you can banish this card to set 1 Golden Land spell or trap directly from your deck. And you can only use one of its effect per turn. You can't use both its effect, similar to Awakening and also White Destiny. So Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine, this card is a trap version of White Destiny and also Black Awakening. So triple copies of this, absolutely mandatory to play in your deck. Next off, for your Golden Land cards, you're gonna play, of course, 2 copies of Conquistador of the Golden Land, and next we're gonna play, of course, double copies of Halquero of the Golden Lands. So what Conquistador of Golden Land is that you can special summon this card as a normal monster, level 5, attack 500, defense 1800. This card is also still treated as a trap card. Then if you control Eldlich Golden Lord, you can destroy 1 face-up card on the field. So this card, upon activation, if you control Eldlich Golden Lord, destroy 1 face-up card on the field, which is really good. The secondary effect is that during the end phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, set 1 Elixir spell or trap card directly from your deck, and you can only use 1 Conquistador of the Golden Lands effect per turn and only once that turn. The entire deck, when it comes to the spell or trap cards, you can either or use one of their effects per turn. Similar to Shadow Mist, you can't search a mass change and also search a hero monster in the exact same turn, right? So Conquistador, it's really great. You can either or use this effect, but on summon, this card right here destroys a face-up card on the field, while Halquero of the Golden Land, on summon, this card banishes a card in your opponent's graveyard. So this card right here is kind of like a Regeki Break, while this card right here is a DD Crow for the deck. And the secondary effect is the exact same as Golden Land. And last but not least, we're going to play, of course, the one Golden Land Forever. This card right here is essentially a Salamander Great Roar for Eldlich, which is really good. When a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated while you control an Eldlich monster, should be one zombie. Negate the activation if you do, destroy that card. Only one copy of this card is enough. It doesn't provide you any additional pluses in the graveyard. You can always set this card directly from the deck. So all your Elixir can search this card. No need to play multiple copies of this. So that's pretty much it for the main deck, guys. Let's go off to your extra deck real quick. Like I mentioned earlier, you're not really relying on the extra deck so much because of Extravagance. This deck doesn't rely on the extra deck at all. You just win the duel with cards like Balladrock and also Eldlich, the Golden Lord, on the field. So these are the Link monsters you're playing the deck. The extra deck is very versatile. You can play whatever cards you guys would like. You can play multiple copies of Vampire Sucker if you would like. Avenger at Savior. Same thing with Chris Straw and Hack of Fibrax as well. You can play multiple copies of this card if you guys would like. And last but not least, the IP Masquerena to round off for your links. The extra deck is very versatile, like I mentioned. One copy, of course, Crimson Knight Vampire Brand. This card's a Monster Reborn, which is really good. And it's a level 5, and you guys are questioning, Sam, how can you summon this card? Well, these cards right here are level 5 monsters on the field. And they're level 5 normal monsters, which are light, which you can make cards like Constellar Pleiades. Pleiades is amazing. So using these two cards right here, you can overlay into Pleiades, which is absolutely incredible. So Pleiades is just really nice. Last but not least, you'll play, of course, Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon, Gustav Max. You can actually win in time if you're able to special summon 2 Eldlich Golden Lords on the field. Also, at the same time, you're playing, of course, the one Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon, Juggernaut, Libe, which is really good to overlay on top of Rail Cannon Gustav Max. For our synchros, we're playing, of course, the one Formula Synchron. So you can easily bring this card out from your extra deck using Hack of Fibrax ability. Off Formula Synchron, you can go into cards like F8 Don Dragster, and the most popular level 8 Synchro monster for zombies is obviously the god himself, Psyframe Lord Omega. So that's pretty much rounds off for the deck profile, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. That'll be absolutely amazing. And I know that there are so many different variations of this deck. What are your thoughts about this specific version of the deck? I'm loving this version so much because of cards like Zombie World and also Doom King Balladrock. It just provides you so much aggressiveness and also at the same time provides you more of a control grind game against specific matchups. This deck right here works really well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys get your live box breaks today in the link in the description box below. Tonight, 6 p.m. EST, guys. Friday, April the 3rd. Get your box breaks down below. And as always, guys, make sure you guys get your awesome Team Samurai X1 sleeves today in the link in the description box below. Best sleeves in the game. These are the only sleeves that I use. You guys have been asking me, Sam, what sleeves you use? The Team Samurai X1 sleeves. The best sleeves in the game. I can guarantee you that. Also, if you guys want to pinball your extra deck as well, get your extra deck sleeves as well. They'll be absolutely amazing in the link in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, this is your boy Sam from Team Sam signing out. Alright, guys. Peace.